Well, now we essentially have a new enemy.
Azerbaijan had barely forgiven Russia for its plane shot down over Grozny and Medinsky's statement about Karabakh when a new event occurred, and propaganda had already practically called it a new war. There were demonstrative murders and acts of violence against citizens. Committed by FSB officers in Yekaterinburg. They tortured 2 Azerbaijanis to death. In total, about 30 people were tortured. The Azerbaijani authorities cancelled all cultural events related to Russia and also refused to cooperate at the parliamentary level. Earlier, the Republic's leadership expressed protest in connection with the detentions of its citizens. The Russian Foreign Ministry noted that law enforcement officers acted within the framework of criminal cases. After the detention in Yekaterinburg, the Azerbaijani Foreign Ministry demanded that Russia urgently investigate. The Republic's Foreign Ministry called for the persons who committed this unacceptable violence to be held accountable. And it did not take long to receive a response from the propagandists. Ivan Pankhin stated that it was Aliyev who had been worsening relations with Russia for some time now, and then quoted the Kommersant newspaper, which stated that these Azerbaijanis actually died of a heart attack.
The news, frankly speaking, is not very good. We are having a big rift with Azerbaijan. Even the word rift is probably not very appropriate here. You could pick a stronger word, but I won't. Recently, well, for some time, not very good relations have been developing with Azerbaijan, which were previously considered quite pragmatic and, in general, even in some sense, yes, downright good. Now there is no trace left of all this. Well, we all remember the plane. Well, something happened to that plane. The video shows the situation in the cabin of the plane after the incident. People are filming the external damage to the plane from the inside, confirming that it was received in the airspace during a flight from Russia to Kazakhstan, that is, over Chechnya. We can also see wounded passengers bleeding from the injuries they received, which clearly indicates through and through penetrations of the plane's skin. Please.
Last shots are a detailed recording of the damage received by the plane, which allows us to assert with even greater confidence that a short or medium-range anti-aircraft missile fired at the passenger side. Apparently, it was still a ZRPK, a Panzer S-1, and the Russian side, realizing that it had struck a passenger plane, made the most blasphemous decision to redirect the plane not to one of its airfields, but to Kazakhstan, in the hope that the plane would not reach Aktau and would crash, thereby hiding as much as possible the traces of another Russian war crime. And since then, Aliyev has been actively setting his entire public on Russia. All the dogs, as they say. The security forces detained about 50 people. Most of them were released after interrogation, but 2 died. How did they die? Well, you know, by the way, the reports differ here. For example, Kommersant newspaper sources say that 2 men, brothers Ghassain and Zidane Safarov, had heart attacks. Well, now we essentially have a new enemy. And there are probably some explanations. Maybe we did something wrong somewhere.
And what he said next will immediately open everyone's eyes. The main thing is to remember that Russia is a multinational and multicultural country where more than 190 peoples live together. Well, we all understand everything perfectly well. Once again, I already said, when we talk about some ethnic organized crime groups and the word Azerbaijan comes up somewhere, it seems like you and I don't doubt anything anymore, and the actions of the security forces don't seem harsh to us, even if these 2 detainees, they who died, they died, maybe, not from heart attacks, yes. To be honest, I don't even care at all about this, because for me the main thing is that everything is okay with the security forces in this case. Well, maybe just because I grew up in Volgograd, I saw different scenes in Volgograd, and then I also worked in crime journalism. Well, probably, the main thing is that everything is okay with the security forces. Look, in one day they turned on the whole mechanism, they refused to hold a parliamentary meeting, they banned all cultural events, that is, they stopped everything, actually stopped all cooperation, official cooperation, which was with Russia. And, of course, where would we be without it? It turns out that Azerbaijan, in addition to all this, also publicly supports Ukraine. Now everything has become clear. And
we know that Azerbaijan is the only country that publicly declares its support for Ukraine. This too is some kind of low. Do you mean the only country from which? Wait, from a country from ours, yes. Yes, from a circle of close friends, yes. And then the propagandists discuss what they would do with the Azerbaijanis and how they would fight them. I believe that if we block even several markets in Moscow, in the Moscow region, this will already be a rather tangible story. Or maybe this is just the time to get rid of all these ethnic, Azerbaijani organized crime groups, fellow countrymen, what to disperse all of them. In fact, the time has come long ago, and we understand that we have not just a fifth column, but several fifth columns, yes, and we must understand that when today they are already calling on Azerbaijanis to take to the streets, yes, there are 3 million of us Azerbaijanis to take to the streets, so that this is already after this, it is generally necessary to conduct mass operational measures, and with some kind of forceful subtext. So, the only thing, I say again that we must not agree to anything under any circumstances, is to bring some kind of apologies, and demonstrate something else, because we will hit the domestic political image of the authorities. Yes, we know how painfully the people feel about this.
By the way, there's no better opportunity to sort things out with the Azerbaijani diasporas, to sort them out according to the law. A better opportunity may not present itself. But today we just need to beat everyone, don't pick apart. I simply said once that the war must be merciless. There is no mercy for the enemy. Evil, kill, evil, kill. What have they done, oh my God? They have simply dehumanized an entire nation. They have made them inhuman. Kill. Nuclear war, a bomb. They don't want it. They are sexual maniacs. As for the atomic bomb, they are shaking, trembling. They want it to destroy them all and the whole world. It's just that the only ones I don't want to understand are murderers, right? And these very clowns of the apocalypse. They are used to calling our government the motherland. Our government, it called itself the motherland. This, guys, is wrong. Our government is not the motherland. These guys will die in 10 to 20 years, but the motherland will remain. So, the motherland is not the government.
Well, that is, it doesn't matter that a blow was dealt. Well, it is important, but that is not the sacramental meaning. What matters is what kind of attitude you and I or they will form for us towards this blow.